Hi guys, welcome back to Delahousse Family. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Lavelle, and we have been absent for a while due to some growing up, I guess you can say, and some moving, and a lot of things been going on.
Yeah, a life update. We moved from one city to another, and then we were moving and part of school going on, and then school finally ended, then holidays, and then finding out that I'm pregnant and trying to get things up, and then school's starting back up. So just a lot of stuff has been happening. I think the last time is you started the second job. So it was a lot.
No real excuses, because those of you who are YouTubers and do this, constantly, I get it. It's it's something that you gotta surpass to make it a lifestyle. It's difficult for us. We're not looking to be no superstars or no any kind of other YouTubers that are out there. We really just want to spread the word and spread the love through our family. So
we really wanted to talk about something that kind of came up. My sister-in-law asked me, were we judged a lot, or being young first, married, and then of course pregnant and having a child. So I am 22 and I am pregnant with my third baby. So in that, it's kind of crazy to tell people that I'm pregnant again. You get a lot of eyes, you get a lot of looks of like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Are you crazy? So I kind of had questions out so we can talk about. The first one is, how old were we when we met? So we were the same age as when we met. We also got married. I was 18 and he was 21. So I think it's back. Did it backwards?
no matter.
So and then we also did get married. The way we met and stuff like that, it wasn't very traditional or conventional. Traditional. So we met 3 months later, got married, or got moved in. A month later, got married. A month later, got pregnant. So I was still 18 when I got pregnant. And this goes on to our next question of how old was I when I had my first child, which is L'Oreal. I was 19 and Lavelle was 22. And then with LJ, we were how old?
I was 24. This was just last year. This is not long. He's not that old.
I was 21. So, and then for this next baby, which we're going to be having, God willing, in the end of August, I will be 22 and Lavelle will be 25.
25.
So,
which I am now. So.
Yes. And the next question is, were we judged a lot for having children at a young age? What is your perspective?
Were we judged a lot? Depends on. I guess there's judgment based off of other people's situations and past experiences. They people try to conform into things in your life that happen in their life, and they want you to go through the same problems and situations, but that's not the case, whether you want it to be or not. You get judged by just how you handle certain things, as far as the kids, how to raise them and how to discipline them and all this kind of stuff. I guess my age being involved into it, I'm 3 years older than you.
Yeah.
Right? 3 years?
3 years.
So, but that doesn't matter. When it comes to kids, it don't matter how old you are. These kids, they just need a parent. They don't care how old you are. They just want you to raise them. You know what I mean?
For me, I think my experience is a little bit more different because I was the one physically pregnant. And, they can look at him and just see, oh, you're married. But with me, they saw you're married and you're pregnant. Or if I was pregnant and sometimes I didn't have my ring, they would judge like, oh, so you're just one of those young people who just got pregnant. You get a lot of talk about people saying like, oh, you're so young, like, what are you gonna do with your youth? What are you gonna do, raising a child, you're a child. And honestly, like, what do you do in your youth? Like, you know what I mean? Like, people have this misconception of in your youth, like you go out partying, you go to college,
Yeah, that's the normal perception of
or
today's.
you know, you travel, you don't settle down. Like, why would you settle down? You're so young. But honestly, like, I feel like that's kind of like kept us like sane. Like, I've never drank, I've never smoked, and honestly, I'm excited because I feel like if I did, I probably would have been the addictive type to keep going. And I'm glad that, like, even there was a whole bunch of temptation to go into, but I did it. And I feel like now having a kid, there's an expectation of this. How do you want your kids to see you? And so then I had to, okay, well, I need to grow up. There was a lot of growing up having kids.
Yeah, and the part about, you know, how do people, were you judged a lot? Yeah, I was judged a lot. You know, I came from a different background, a different foundation than Sarah. I did party, I did drink, I did smoke, all that crazy stuff. So people knew me for that, you know, prior to getting married, prior to having a, you know, woman move in, and prior to having kids. So when I tell them, no, I don't do that anymore, it becomes
shock, like
a center of judgment. It's like, oh, you don't do no more, but now you judge us for doing it. No, I just want a better, you know, a better life, better lifestyle for my family. I need to, you know, set an example for my children and so on. So it was a move I had to make. And honestly, yes, I had to make it. It was mandatory.
Yeah.
Okay, not only for me, but because the Lord told me to. And it was a beautiful thing just to be in that place where you didn't have to, you know, do the things that you thought you had to do, if that makes sense, you know.
Explain why.
Well, because every morning, you know, I had to smoke, and I'm just keeping it real with y'all, okay? Every morning I had to smoke, like it was brushing your teeth through the middle of the day. And I might, you know, there might be some of you listening right now that's like, oh, I do that. Well, no judgment towards you. Okay, I'm just saying my past experience. So, you know, I smoked during the day, smoked during the middle of the day, before lunch, smoke at night. It was a constant thing.
Before work, before you ate.
Just as much as it was to breathe, it was to smoke. So what I'm trying to get from that is I was able to be set free from that. And now, you know, I'm not smoking all through the house where my kids want to do it when they grow up. I'm not drinking. I'm not alcoholic, going out to the bar every dang on day. My wife's not worried about me. You know, I work hard for my family, and that's what it taught me. Not only just having kids, but as being married in general, you know, and just wanting better for my family. Like,
well, those are grown-up things, being married and having kids. So, like, we had to grow up.
Yeah.
We had to put away our childish ways of doing life and be selfless.
Yeah.
Towards each other in marriage.
Yeah.
And then towards our kids. And so we...
Now, yeah, I'm sorry, but being young, though, you know, that's what this whole thing is really about. Young and married, or young with kids. The age doesn't matter when it comes to, like, knowing what you want for your kids and for your marriage. You know, we can grow
and
in
for
it.
yourself.
Yeah, and for yourself, and we can grow in it, but there could be somebody who's 40-something years old, and they've been in a terrible marriage for a long time with kids that are really, really bad.
Yeah.
You know, and there's still time for them to grow and get older and more mature and by heart or by mind. You know, there's always a way. So, you know, just wanted to throw off that.
No. So the next question is, how do we feel having kids at a young age? Personally, for me, I think I honestly feel so blessed to be able to have kids at a young age. I have so much energy. I can keep up with L'Oreal. I can keep up with LJ. I'm pregnant with the third one, and this third one has hit me like a roller coaster. I've never thrown up or had nausea or like any bad first trimester symptoms, and this pregnancy, all of a sudden, it's hit me like crazy. But like I'm still able to like push through because I am young. I feel like if we were 40 and having kids, it would be like we would be tired.
40.
It's hard enough to even try and get him to see his 40 and have his kids in high school.
So how do I feel about having children at a young age? Really good. I honestly would rather have them at a young age. Other people could speak differently. No, I don't have a degree yet. That's what I'm working on. I've been working on it since 2017, so I'm pushing for that. As far as a goal that I wanted in life, I didn't have goals. I didn't have aspirations. I wasn't gonna go to college. I wasn't going to, really settle down, although I wanted to. I just wanted to live life free by my choice. I wanted to be control of everything. But you can't always be the one to, set those things for you. I mean, things are destined, right? I didn't know I was gonna meet Sarah. She didn't know she was gonna meet me, but it happened the way it happened, early, at a young age. Okay, just because you're over 25, just because you're over 22, 21, does not mean that it's all different for you. We just so happen to meet each other early, but we want a better life for us and our kids.
Yeah.
Okay, and generations to come.
So we felt like
I feel
having
good.
kids at a young age is, I don't know. It's nothing bad. I feel like we do get looks, especially when we go to grocery stores.
I feel weird though.
Why?
I don't know. I feel weird. Like when I'm walking around, I look young. When I get my hair cut, and then I'm walking and I have L'Oreal, and
everyone's looking
it's
at
a
you.
feeling. It's a feeling. It's not even that I don't care. I don't care regardless. I got my daughter with me.
Well, I don't
But
care
it
either.
just-
It's just it's
No. I'm talking about when I'm by myself. When we're with
Oh.
each other, we're a couple, so it's like okay. But when I'm by myself, it's like okay, you're like an older brother, or you're like a, that's probably the brother for real. Like I'm not even nothing to me, but I'm just saying I get that look. So,
Yeah.
but that doesn't bother me at all. I mean, I don't. This is my daughter. You know what I mean? I hope I stay looking this young for a while. You're talking about I'm growing gray hairs. Yo,
I thought you had
she's
a
looking
white
inside
hair.
the beard. Oh, let me look for the gray hair.
I
There's
thought I
nothing
saw
there.
white
It was a
hair.
glare. It was a glare. Anyway.
For me, honestly, sometimes when we go to like the store or something, I look at it and I'm just like, I honestly sometimes feel like I'm 30. I'm 35. Like, not feel.
For the people that are 35 watching this,
I'm
girl,
sorry.
get out of here.
I'm sorry. I sometimes feel like this is where a 35-year-old should be. You know what I mean? Because like,
That's why it's not about the age.
we have an SUV. We have I'm not saying everything we have is because of anything. We are really blessed with 2 kids. We're able to we're not behind on bills. Thank the Lord. We're
Getting out of
we're
debt.
okay. We're getting out of debt. Like, we're honestly are doing good. And to me,
Yes, we have debt. We're not perfect.
that's another story I want to go on. But yeah, to me, it's like we are okay. And sometimes I feel like everyone who else is just like 21 or whoever, what age, younger, everyone thinks like, oh, you're struggling. Oh, you're doing bad. Oh, you're living with your parents, or oh, you're this. And not saying that is bad. It's I sometimes just feel like I'm older. I had to grow up. So I guess I just feel like I'm 35. I don't know. I have 2 kids, and I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I'm so thankful.
Well, I don't feel like I'm 35, and I don't feel like I'm 40, and I work my butt off, but I don't feel that way.
I guess it's because I stay home. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
no, I
and
get
I
it.
don't get to go out and talk to people like, oh, I'm 22. I'm home talking to a almost 3-year-old and a
Hey, I do the same thing at work. They might not be 2, 3 years old, but they act like it. Anyways, if you're watching that, I'm sorry.
Okay, so how did our family respond to
So I guess I'll start with mine. My family, as far as responded, they were all cool. That's what's up, nice. I'm just saying that. I mean, it wasn't too much. Me and my family's communication is very black and white. It's very like, that's awesome. We're supportive on one side of it, okay. But then, once I told them I stopped doing certain things like smoking and drinking, and I'm telling, that's a whole different story that we'll talk about in another video. But it was so sudden, I was whatever. So for that alone, you would think, oh, just because you don't smoke and drink anymore doesn't mean you should push your family away. It wasn't nothing like that. I just decided not to do those things, and most of the time when we hung out and we got together, those things were involved. Every time, not most times, every time. So when I didn't want to go there, and it wasn't, of course I wanted, I used to cry with Sarah. I want to go and spend time with my family, but the things that they're doing there I don't agree with, so I can't be there, because I would set a bad example for my family as a household, my children,
And
you know,
L'Oreal.
the
I think it's
church,
normal.
and so on. So I was like, I can't do that, So now, the response from them was a little iffy, but then as time went, it became more subtle, and they were able to see L'Oreal, because there's been there was a little time and period where they weren't able to see L'Oreal because I wasn't able to put her around that kind of environment.
Well, how did your family feel about us getting married young?
Oh, the married part, I got the eyes. I got the whispers, and I got the people talking around my back, and how would you, I just try to think about it and put it in their shoes, because I don't take nothing hard anymore like that. So it's kind of like, how would I feel? You know what I mean? You got married to her. You only know her for 3 months.
I know you never even introduced me to the family. When you
I
introduced me, we were already married.
Yeah,
and I was already moved in.
I was like, hey, Dad. I was like, there's a girl named Sarah. She was like, okay. They're all happy, excited, and then I was like, she's on the way. Oh, okay, awesome. We get to meet her. We're married. Okay, awesome. And then the time went on and whatever, but.
Okay, hold on.
You gotta get. How about your family, which is now my family as well?
My side of the family. First off, when we got married, it was in the courthouse. So my family is a little bit more traditional. I grew up with both my mom and my dad. We all had the same. All my siblings, we all have the same mom and dad as well. So it's a very traditional family. And when we got married at the courthouse, I told them we were going to the courthouse to get, I guess they thought just to get the marriage certificate, but didn't know we were going to get married. So when I came back, I was all excited, I'm a Delahousse, I'm so happy. Everyone was kind of telling me, you can't be sleeping with him out of wedlock. Y'all guys aren't married yet. You can't be sleeping together in the same bed. So, there was that pressure of, okay, I need to get married. So then I just got married thinking I'm doing the right thing, but then, my dad didn't get to witness, me getting married.
Andrew Ofer and all that.
My mom didn't get to witness that.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I kind of get emotional about it because, thinking about L'Oreal, I would want to see her get married.
Yeah, I would be heartbroken.
Now as parents, we weren't parents then. Now as parents, now we understand how hard it must have been for my family, because they took it hard. They're like, we weren't there. You just did this out of nowhere, and that was another little hump to get through.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they found out I was pregnant, we were already kind of past that hump. So they were excited. That kind of honestly moved us forward.
Yeah.
Finding out that I was pregnant with L'Oreal.
It was a little rough, but we moved forward with it.
And they weren't. It's not like they were opposed from us getting married or opposed from us having kids. It was just, I think, a shocker.
Well, no, it was the way we did it.
Yeah,
you know
it
what
was
I mean?
the way we did it.
We totally apologized after, because we should have handled things better. But I'll tell you one thing, right? It was the best thing that ever happened to us, the way that we did it. Okay. We wish we would have did it better, but there's no other way. If you really think about it, we knew each other for such a small amount of time. She was living with me, and for something popped in my head that I'm tired of this, a way of living. She's living with me. I wanted her to live with me. It was I don't want to just sleep with you and then the next day sleep with you. I was like, there needs to be a commitment. We talked about it. It was a mutual. I didn't get on my knee, and that's another story. But the other thing is, the family response was, we get it. Okay, it was valid, I guess you could say.
We get it, but we're not happy with the way you did it.
Yep.
So that was one thing. What was one of the hardest things about being a dad? That's just a question on ours. What's one of the hardest things?
You're making this video long.
No, just go. Just answer it. Just answer it.
The hardest things about being a dad?
Yeah, just when it,
If y'all want to hear that, then that'll be the next video.
Alright, you guys. We love you. Thank you so much for watching, if you watched till this very end.
To be continued on that. 'Cause I'll tell you, but not right now. Okay?
I love you guys. Have a good night, good day, good week, good life. God
Put
bless.
in the comments. Okay? Comment. Because people want to say something, and I know y'all scared to say it sometimes. Put it in the comments.
About
We're
what?
okay. We're open-minded. No, I'm talking to them.
About but about what? Just put in the comments what?
What they're thinking right now, because they know what they're thinking. Oh, this and this and this, that and that. And that. Put it in the comments. We'll answer. They didn't want to put it on the previous ones, but we're open-minded. We're a little older. Put it in those comments. All right. Bye.
Love you.